I want to make sure that you are hearing me okay. I think we might be having some more technical difficulty. Okay. Are we good? Yeah. Okay. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. As I was saying, that I don't think we realize how much power we actually have. Anything that comes out of your mouth, anything that is made with your hands, it starts with a creative thought or conscious thinking. And I don't think that we realize that is our own responsibility. We feel like, and we have been misled into thinking that circumstances on the outside of us, people on the outside of us, have all the power to change the dynamics of our life. And that's totally not true. You have the power, and you alone have the power to do that. So, for the last few weeks, we've spent time talking about consciously creating. And you cannot consciously create until you consciously become aware of what you are thinking. Because the truth of the matter is, you're always creating. You're always creating, um, negative or positive. Always. Every single thought that comes through your mind, if you're not conscious of it or aware of it, it can slip by, and it's a negative thought. You say stuff like that, stuff like, I can't afford this. And that could possibly just be a fleeting thought in your mind. But because it's in your mind, it came out of your mouth. And as a result of it coming out of your mouth, it creates in the atmosphere. Your words are powerful. And that's how you create, is through your words. That's how everything was created. For all you Bible scholars and readers, think about Genesis. In the beginning, how God created, it was, and he spoke, and there was, and he said, and there was. It was his words that created the firmament. It was his words that created man, his words that did all of that. And that is the same power. If you go to the book of John in the New Testament, it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. The Word was with God. And then the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. The Word, everything that happens becomes a happening because of the words that speak. Well, if you take that a step further, nothing comes out until it first starts as a thought. Now, again, we are consciously creating all the time. The whole time that we are awake, we're creating. We're creating something good or something bad. We're creating something positive or something negative. It is innately in you to create. You were made in the image of the Creator, and a part of your privilege, the part of your power, is the ability to create. And how do you do that? You do it with your words. So, and the words form as a result of what's in your mind. So, consciously creating simply says, I'm going to be aware of what I'm thinking. I'm going to be aware of what I'm speaking, and I get to determine the outcome of certain situations. You know, I told you some time ago, it was Shakespeare, I believe, that said, there is nothing good or bad, but thinking is what makes it so. So, there is actually no difference between good and bad or bad and good. It's just how you perceive it or what your thought pattern is for it. You know, that's why you see certain situations where some people have a horrible experience, and then some people will be like, oh, I enjoyed it. It was really nice to me. I don't see what you see. And that's what happens. It's our thinking, our perception of it that makes it so. So when you consciously create something, you are very much aware of exactly what it is you are creating. I read a quote, so about 2 or 3 weeks ago, that says, know what you want to harvest before you start planting. And that thing was so profound to me. It blew my mind, really, when you think about it. You know, we are constantly planting, and we forget that whatever we plant, we're going to have to harvest it one day. So the quote says, again, know what you want to harvest before you start planting. So when you're consciously creating, you already know what the harvest is going to be. You know what it is. You know what the outcome is going to be because you're conscious of the thoughts that come in your head, conscious of the words that come out of your mouth. And you already know what the results are. I was listening to this podcast the other day, and they brought up the guy, Nikola Tesla. And he was talking about every one of his inventions worked to the T. He said before he ever talked to the engineers about it, that he saw it in his mind. He saw exactly how it was going to work, so he could actually even fix it in his mind if there was any problems before it would actually get out on paper, before it would actually be in production. He said for 35 years, that was his outcome. He always had a great outcome because he consciously created the invention before it actually became something that somebody could use. And I think that that is so powerful because so many of us don't consciously create. We just go through life all willy nilly and are not conscious about anything. We're not conscious about the words that come out of our mouth. We're not conscious about the thoughts that run through our head. The moment that you become conscious, the moment you start consciously creating. Okay. Uh, hey guys, thank you, Catherine and Benny. See you guys out there. Thank you so much. But it's so important. Several of you have reached out to me to say, this conscious creating thing is real and it's powerful, and I'm here to tell you it really is. There are so many instances that I can give you, um, that I that I have had for myself to know that conscious creating is real. When I look for something or someone to be able to handle an issue that's going on at my house, my thing is I want the right person with the most efficient in time, most efficient in money. I want the right person. And every single time, because I am consciously aware of what I'm saying, because so many of us, I don't want to pay that. That's a huge bill, and I don't even go there. I recognize that it's above what I want to pay, but then I set a figure in mind that I don't want to go above that. And when I do, some way, somehow, the right person or whatever always shows up and always beats the initial price that I was given. So I'm consciously creating extra money in my pocket because I could just go with the first thing that rings the doorbell and say, okay, here, I have to do it or whatever. Think about that. That's just one example of how you can consciously create certain things. You can consciously create uh, better friends, consciously create better relationships in your life, consciously create better opportunities. And you do that by thinking positive and by thinking on the lines of exactly what you want, and not just going through life reacting and responding to whatever shows up. Create it and you'll know what's going to show up. Create it and you can live your life in bliss and live your life joyfully because you already know how things will turn out for you. Again, consciously create the life that you want. All right, that's it for today. You guys are sitting quiet and it's okay. But I appreciate you guys. Consciously create. Take some time to think about exactly what you want to see happen in your life. The moment that you start consciously being aware of what your thoughts are and what your words are, I promise you, things will change completely in your life. All right. Listen, next week, we will not be on next week. Sorry, guys, but got some other stuff going on. We won't be on next week, but I promise you, I'll be back again the following week. I'll see you then. Remember, you have the power to create the life and or the lifestyle that you want to live. Put it to work. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.